Hey everyone, I'm John Lynn, the founder of Sway Health, and we're here at the PPAI Expo, and we're talking socks, something that would be really interesting to Sway Health. Number one giveaway in all of healthcare marketing, I think, is socks. And our guest is Vincent Wukmir. He's from Flagpin. Welcome, Vincent.
Hey, thank you. Thanks for having me. Appreciate that.
Yeah, so like I said, socks has become like one of the biggest giveaways at health IT conferences for people to give away. But I think everyone that's a marketer says, well, I want to make sure I'm giving out good socks that they're going to actually use. So talk to us, what are some of the different types of socks that are available?
Well, there's all kinds of socks available from no-shows up to knee-highs, but as far as for promotional quality socks, most people like the crew sock, like a sort of like a mid-calf crew sock, and they're available in all sorts of varieties. You can do domestically manufactured, imported manufactured. Some of the drawbacks are like sometimes in imported manufacturers you get sizing issues because the sizes are too small or something like that. So you got to really know your supplier or know your distributor or who's selling you the product, or get a sample before to check it out so you know what you're getting. We make socks imported or domestically and imported. Our socks domestically are sized as a more retail product, and you can do up to 5 colors plus sock body colors. But there's a wide variety of socks available in every venue.
Interesting. I hate the long socks. Some people like short socks. I like the mid-high. Like, how should a person do that? Should they need to get all three variety, or is that why most people go with the mid-high as it kind of finds that happy medium?
Yeah, well, socks go through fashion trends just like clothing does. When we first started making socks, knee-high socks were all the rage. Now crew socks are the king, but we also do no-shows and low cuts and any sort of small sock, any sock available. In the healthcare business, there's also, you can put like a gripper on the bottom of the socks, things like that, if that's something that's important. But it kind of depends on who the clientele or who's going to be wearing them. If they're executives, they're more like a dress style sock. If they're nurses on the floor, they're going to be more like an athletic style sock because they are kind of athletes, And if it's a running race, you want a low cut sock. If it's a different a venue, the sock is chosen according to what you need.
Interesting. And how about material, right? Because if the sock's not soft, then I'm not going to wear it. The worst sock ever is the tube sock, in my opinion. I can't wear those at all. They look great, they print on great, but they don't, I'm not going to wear it, so what's the point? But talking about the materials that are available in different types of socks.
Well, I've always been a big fan of old-fashioned cotton socks, especially good quality cotton, Pima cotton, spandex, smooth cotton. That to me is the best overall fabric. Nowadays they have high-tech fabrics like Cool Max, or like a lot of the polyester, or some of the other dye-sub socks would be like a polyester. And as far as wearability, I'm always a big believer in cotton, but some of the polyester socks are good, and it depends on who makes the sock. That's why it's really important to know what socks you're getting before you buy them.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, another challenge is if they're too thick. That doesn't work for me in Vegas, but it may not work for someone in Minnesota. Right. It's a hard challenge we're dealing with here. Right. And how about printing on the socks? Can you print on the whole sock? You talked about multicolor. What's available printing-wise with socks?
Well, a lot of the socks are woven in, so it'd be a custom woven sock, and that would depend on how many needle counts and how detailed you can get. Now, there are limitations in a woven sock because you are working with a grid pattern, has about 25 dot per inch resolution, whereas if you go with a digital sock, you can do like a multicolor, maximum multicolors, and no limit on colors.
Interesting. And then, of course, everyone's going to ask about price because, at a conference like our HIMSS conference, we have 35,000 people. They got to buy, 300-400 socks easy, to be able to give out at least. So, what are the different price points? Is it based on size, color, number of colors printed, the fabrics we talked about? Talk about price points.
Yeah, well, the biggest factor would be whether you're going to get an imported sock or domestic sock. Domestic socks obviously are going to be a little higher. We have higher minimum wages, but imported socks. But as far as socks go, the smaller the sock, the less expensive it is. So a no-show sock is going to be a lot less expensive than a knee-high sock, and material and time-wise. And if you're looking for price point, imported socks might be the way to go, but you got to make sure you're getting a good imported sock because many of them are, not very good quality.
Interesting. And then I guess one other thing that everyone has to plan for is how long does it take to get a sock from when they first reach out to you? What's the production time? What are some of the things that slow down that process? And then once once you've got the artwork, everything's approved, how long does it take to actually get it shipped to the either venue or the company that's doing it?
Well, it kind of depends on the sock that you're using. If you're imported socks, usually a longer timeline. Domestic or shorter timelines. Domestic socks you can usually get in 1 to 2 weeks or 3 weeks. Imported socks usually take about 3 to 4 weeks. It depends on the volume, the quantity, and and where they're being made. Basically, how far they have to travel.
Awesome. So, Vincent, tell us, where can people go to learn more about Flagpin?
You can go to our website, flagpin.com, which we've been making socks for over 25 years. We do custom socks of all types, and we can order online, or you can call us up and send a PO.
And I guess one other question: is there a minimum order size?
Yeah, we have a minimum of 60 pair normally for domestic production socks, but we'll actually make any quantity. If we'll come up with a price for almost any quantity, and we have that for imported as well.
Excellent. Thanks so much. And thanks everyone for watching. If you want to find more great healthcare marketing content like this, be sure to check it out at sway.health. Thanks, Vincent.
Thank you very much.